Volume, frequency, and intensity. Those are the big three things that we need to manage on a broad level to make sure that year-round you guys are able to throw healthy and you're able to get better. These two right here, volume and frequency, are the ones that people jack up the most. They confuse them. They confuse one for the other and vice versa. So Greg was talking about frequency. He's saying you guys need to throw every day. You should be throwing every day. Right now in this program, you guys should be throwing every day. We clearly lay that out for you guys in the program with catch play every single day, drill work to be done, mobility to be done. There's things to do every single day because we know if we get a rule follower or a type A dude who likes to have everything laid out, we wish we had more of those, that dude is going to follow that to a T. He's going to say, okay, this is the throwing I need to do today. Now, with that being said, I know you guys freak out because you're like, oh, Diego, your shoulder was a little sore a couple weeks ago, right?
It was my elbow.
I'm sorry. Elbow was sore. You're thinking, oh, I'm throwing too much, right? Well, what is too much? Like the volume of throws, this up here, the volume, guys, is different than the frequency. The frequency is how often you pick up a baseball and throw. The volume is how many throws. But volume can't be looked at one point in time. Volume, Carter, is like the consistency thing. Volume is something that we look at over time. Volume works in accordance with these two things, frequency and intensity. Okay, so if we're throwing every single day and that's in the middle, well, that means on certain days we might up this and decrease this. And on other days we might up this and decrease this to try to prioritize one over the other. The frequency is the constant. That's what we want to keep going. There are times throughout the year where we will decrease this frequency. That's typically going to be during your deload times, and we usually do that 2 times during the year. You're going to do it once in the early fall, okay, end of the summer really. You're going to do it once at the end of the summer when you're at the very end of your busiest season. That's a good time for a deload. And then you're going to do another one, like Greg was saying, right before you build up. So you've started the foundations, the early fall, you get started again, right? We start you off slow. We're talking about mechanics. We're making sure that we identify each of your problems. We start to work on them. And then right before we build you up and get cranking so that we're ready in time for the season in the spring, we put you on another deload. And that's just to say, okay, we know some of you guys played fall games. We know you had long summers and all this stuff. Let's make sure everybody's healthy. Those are the times when we'll decrease this frequency. The volume piece is super important for you guys because I think everybody thinks that you go out and you pitch and you throw 94 pitches. Oh, I threw too much. Well, maybe. We've had guys in this program that are conditioned for what, Greg, 120, 125 pitches, 130 pitches? I'm sure if Charlie went out and threw in his peak shape, threw 100, he could throw 170 pitches and he'd be fine. Matt Pierce, you could probably throw him 250 pitches. He'd be fine. They're conditioned for it. Their bodies are ready to handle that. Now, not everybody is. Okay, but it's not the one-time volume that's the problem. It's that one-time volume in accordance with how frequently are you doing that. I'm going to run through this real quick with you guys to give you a snapshot of what this looks like throughout the year. I always start with the spring, then I go to the summer, then I go to the fall, then I go to the winter. Why do I start with the spring? What do we know about the spring? It's the season. It's the main season for baseball. I don't care, maybe overseas it's different, but in America, in the U.S., high school season, college season, big leagues, everybody starts in the spring, right? Big leaguers go to spring training. College, they get going in January, February. High school, January, February. Like the spring, guys, that's when we get going. What do you guys think your volume should look like when we get into full swing in the spring? So I'm not talking like January 31st. I'm talking more like March 15th. What do you guys think your volume should be? This is 0, this is 50, this is 100.
75.
Okay, so we're 75, 100. So I'm gonna put a little circle right here, a little pink circle. Okay, that's about 80. Okay, good. We'll answer the rest of the questions here in a minute. Summertime is going to be like, call it state playoffs, or if you're playing summer ball, or if you're in college, maybe you're up in the Northwoods League and you're pitching. Okay, where are we going to be at with our volume? 60? 50?
Yeah, like 50, 60.
Greg, what do you think?
Volume, I would say you're probably going to be higher. At that.
I agree,
You're gonna
guys.
be
I think it's
up
going to be
in there,
right
yeah.
in this same region. Think about it, right? Travel
You're
ball.
built up now.
You play more or less
You're-
games in travel ball?
More.
More. Okay, you play in
More
a college
games,
summer
right.
league. You play in the Northwoods League. You play 71 games.
7 days a week, pretty much.
Pro schedule.
6 days a week.
Volume is going to stay high throughout the summer. Summertime is hot. With that being said, there is only so long that we can keep that up for before we start to fall off a little bit. And you go ahead and follow the big leagues. Okay, go ahead and follow the big leagues. They pretty much keep this going all the way through September, and then they are balls to the wall. If they get a chance to make it to October, they're balls to the wall with this thing.
You know, yeah. And then it's, you know,
I mean,
that's when
you're
this
coming
is
off the chart.
right here.
Yeah.
You know, you're throwing velocity max.
Right. For us, we don't pitch that late in the year. We start a little earlier, we end a little earlier. So for us, guys, you go into the fall, and keep in mind there's travel ball and stuff. Where's volume going to be at in the fall? This is where it's going to change a little bit. There's going to be a little bit of a range, guys. If you're playing, that's going to be up a little bit. Spencer Leftoff is down in Fort Myers getting ready to
He's
throw
up there, yeah.
tomorrow. He's closer to the pink. Okay? So this is going to change a little bit, but overall, I think your volume should take a step or two back from the spring and the summer. In the wintertime,
30.
volume, Greg, it might start at 30,
No, it's gonna
but
need
it's
to
going to
go,
need to
it's-
go up, guys.
it's-
So again, winter is probably a wider range. It probably looks something like that. And what we're trying to do, fellas, is we're trying to get to the spring.
Right.
We're trying to get to the spring. Okay, so that line is going to get to here. That's where we want it to get to. This is where guys get confused. Because it's like, wait, hold on, they're telling me to throw more in the winter, but then they're telling me I need to deload. What do I need to do? Well, that's because, guys, you have to break it up. You have to break this up and think logically about this. So keep in mind, we're up here with this. You can connect the dots to all this stuff. And this drawing is going to start to look pretty messy, but, you know, summertime, guys, look at where our trend line is for volume, frequency, and intensity. You know, the fall, look at where our trend line is for volume, frequency, and intensity. Quite a bit less. Okay, in the spring, look where our trend line is, guys, for volume, frequency, and intensity. It's slightly below the summer, somewhat in between the fall and the summer. You look at the winter time, fellas, and we go on the low end of this. Okay, we need to go on the low end of this. Trend line's going to be less than the fall, knowing that we started the winter with a deload. You guys are smart kids. Does this make sense to you, what we're trying to do?
Yeah.
Okay, and listen, this is 12 months. This is not, I did a 12-week program and I'm good. No, that's not it. We can do a 12-week program. We can help you get better. Then you got to know how to navigate this. We're going to bust our butts to understand this.